It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
It's time for the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rectenwald. This is Scooter.
Whoop, whoop.
Scott Kelly.
Now, how did that go a minute ago right before we started? You had
I
that
have no
weird...
idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. I got it recorded. We'll play it back later.
Uh-huh. Sure you will.
No problem.
How's Scooter today?
I am wonderful. I am
wonderful.
Wonderful. I am.
How do you reach that point in life when every day is wonderful?
Just wake up in the morning and just happy. I do now. I will admit, I get up. You know, we talked about this before. I get up at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm happy when I wake up. I'm not one of them. I am a morning person. I'm good when I get up.
Yeah.
My wife's not.
Your wife's not?
That's where the argument comes into play, is you don't say anything to her until she's taking a shower.
Oh?
I don't care how nice it is. She gets out of bed. I say, "Good morning, honey. Love you." And get me in the shower. So once she gets out of the shower, she's fine. But before that,
Wow.
yeah.
You actually said that on TV.
I did, and I'm probably going to pay for it. But she would agree with me.
But I'm going to say this on TV.
Okay.
Today, my wife Tina and I celebrate our 43rd anniversary.
Today?
Today.
Good job.
Today's
43
the day.
years.
43 years.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
God, she's a saint.
Absolutely. There's no denying on my part. Yep. 43 years ago, we walked through the reception line, and two of her three uncles that were there said, "Good luck, honey, you're going to need it." And they weren't talking to me.
Now, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
43 years.
43.
That's awesome.
43 years ago. She was talking to our youngest daughter last night. We got home from dinner, and she said, "What did y'all do?" And she said, "Well, we just come home from dinner, and we had an early anniversary because we got a lot of things going on today. Got a doctor's appointment and other stuff." And she said, "Yeah, after everybody told us we'd never make it, 43 years later, here we are." And Tina said, "Yeah, a year ago today, your dad was at a bachelor party." And I said, "No, 43 years ago today, your dad was getting his uncle out of jail so he could be at the wedding the next day." So, anyway, it's
funny.
the morning
That's
show
awesome.
on
That's
XL7 TV. We appreciate you joining us. I'm going to read a prayer this morning.
Read a prayer.
Yeah,
okay. I like that.
Not game on that. I mean, I'm not real keen on that, but this one kind of caught my eye a little bit. I've got it somewhere on my phone. Let me find it real quick. Go ahead and talk a little bit, Scooter, while I'm...
Well, the morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Home.
Yeah.
30 in the state of Arkansas and one in Memphis, Tennessee.
29 in the state of Arkansas.
29?
One in
Okay.
Memphis, Tennessee.
30 total. I'm
with
close.
all our respect, it's not just their motto, it's the way they do business with 29 locations serve you in Arkansas. Roller Funeral Home, Renata Jenkins-Byler her and her staff do a great job in your time of need. And I'm going to read this morning prayer. Actually, it's a little bit of a story.
Okay.
Right. A pastor asked an older farmer, decked out in bib overalls, to say grace over the morning breakfast. "Lord, I hate buttermilk," the farmer began. The visiting pastor opened one eye and took a glance at the farmer and was wondering where he was going. The farmer loudly proclaimed, "Lord, I hate lard." Now the pastor is really getting concerned about the situation. Without missing a beat, the farmer continued and said, "And Lord, you know don't much care for raw white flour." And the pastor once again opened both eyes, took a glance around the room, and saw that he wasn't the only one wondering what was going on and was feeling uncomfortable. The farmer added, as my phone moves around, "But Lord, when you mix them all together and bake them, I do love warm, fresh biscuits. So Lord, when things come up that we don't like, when life gets hard, and we don't understand what you're saying to us, help us just relax and wait until you're done mixing. It will probably be even better than biscuits." Amen.
Amen. I like that.
You may not always get what you want, but wait till it's over.
Wait until it's mixed.
Wait till it's mixed. Might be something that you weren't expecting.
I like that.
Not really a prayer, but it's
that could pertain to a lot of things, though. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like it.
There's a saying in the good book that says, "Be still and know I am God," and basically that's what that's telling you.
That's cool. Good job.
The morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Home. With all our respect, Highway 5 North, past Hospital Drive on the right-hand side, largest American flag you probably ever see. Pull in there, talk to about pre-planning, mausoleums, funeral services, and such. Roller Funeral Home, 425-2161. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for the weather, the dam reports, and the lake levels. Brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their phone number. RetiredArkansas.net is their website. If you go there, click on, you got there too early. Click on live views, and this is what you see.
I knew where you were going.
Well, I did. Yeah, I did go there. What you're looking at is a shot back into Baxter County, Arkansas from Marion County, Arkansas. Beautiful shot, even with a little bit of clouds. It just looks nice. Things are changing. Won't be long before there's leaves on those trees right there.
With all the rain we got, and then get a little bit of sun, it's going to green up quick.
It's going to change some things pretty quick. Let's check out another shot. That shows you that is a live shot because that is the White River off the bottom of the dam, just rolling through Cotter right now. Just great shots.
Got some current to it a little bit.
Yeah, it's moving quite a bit. These live views are brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. RetiredToArkansas.net is where you can go to see these. Click on live views, but while you're there, click on MLS listings. See what they have available listed in our area or in southern Missouri. They're licensed in both states. Be glad to help you on either side of the border. Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z-Team. Let's take a look at some temperature, Scooter. You go ahead and leave that on there.
Yep.
Okay. Temperatures around the area. Mountain Home is 43. Harrison is 42. Batesville is 45. Yellville, Arkansas is 44. Marshall, Arkansas is 44. Salem, 42. Mountain View is 44. Calico Rock, 43. West Plains, Missouri is 42. Springfield, Missouri, 44. Poplar Bluff, Missouri, 47. And St. Louis is 41. By golly, by golly. Take a look at the radar. And we'll pull that out here so we can see all the USMA. The heavy rain that we got last night, it rained pretty hard out by us last night.
It did. It was raining early this morning pretty good.
It's got the old Hicks Creek filled up and rolling through. We'll let the radar catch up to us here real quick. Da, 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 da. I know it didn't all just disappear, Scooter. It's got to be there somewhere.
No, it's there. It's there. It's moving out.
And there it is, right there. As the rain leaves Arkansas to the east, around 9 o'clock, it's probably going to be completely out of our area for a while. We're going to zoom back in. This stuff right here in Des Moines, Iowa, Springfield, Illinois, that'd be a little bit of snow mixed with rain. If you're traveling north, be very careful going up that direction. I'll zoom in a little bit more. See if we can capture just the state of Arkansas here. From Rogers to Blytheville, it's going to be a bit of a rainy day up till about noon. And then it will dissipate out. Jonesboro is going to get some heavy rain. Probably right about now they're getting some heavy rain. Conway's heavy. Down around Hot Springs, Texarkana, they're going to have spurts of heavy rain throughout the day. But right after lunchtime, it should disappear. Watches and warnings. Computer a little slow.
Moving a little slow.
Dee.
Maybe the watches and warnings didn't.
There we go.
We go.
This up here looks cold. It looks like a winter weather advisory. Up here, North and South Dakota. Minnesota's got some cold stuff going on, a freeze warning. But Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, the northeast portion of Texas is clear. Southeast corner of Louisiana looks a little bit rain-straught. Mississippi, Alabama is clear as well. Tennessee, Kentucky. So if you're staying within the bordering states, you're going to be pretty good. If you're going north, dress warm. If you're going south, dress cool. How about that, huh?
There you go.
Saw something earlier today. Said weatherman said dress for the 70s. The guy had bell bottoms on and flowery shirt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't remember those days. You're too young.
Yeah. I hear you.
7-day forecast. This computer is just really
I
slow
know,
today.
and I updated it this morning, and everything updated right away, and now it's all going crazy. Probably need to reboot it.
7-day forecast today: rain and slight chance of thunderstorms. High of 46. Tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms, rain likely. Low of 42. Tomorrow, high of 51. 80% chance of rain. 30% chance tomorrow night, low of 41. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 55. Friday night, partly cloudy, low of 35 degrees. Saturday, chance of showers, 50%, high of 50 degrees. Low Saturday night, 42, 80% chance of rain. Sunday, 40% chance of rain, high of 53. Let's take a look. Maybe Monday, Tuesday will be a little bit brighter. And it is mostly sunny, high near 52 on Monday. Mostly sunny, high near 52 on Tuesday. Lake level and dam reports brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora of the Z Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. Lake Norfolk, 558.60. They're currently generating 1. But they have 5 floodgates open.
Did they?
Went over there last night for dinner, and they had 5 floodgates open. They're 6.66 above full pool of 552. Lake Bull Shoals. Lake Bull Shoals is 664.77, which is 5.77 above full pool, and they are currently generating 6. And you can tell that by the shot from the Zadoras.
Yeah,
because
they got some water coming down.
It's full from bank to bank. So that is the updates on the lake level and dam report. If you want to check out the dam report for yourself, give them a call at 870-431-5311. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to The Morning Show on XL7-TV. It's time for community news and happenings.
Happenings. What's going on?
Happening is developing an Ozarks green thumb, brought to you by the Baxter County Master Gardeners, which will be Saturday, March the 18th, from 8 to 3:30 at the First United Methodist Church Fellowship Center. And they are located at 605 West 6th Street. Featured speakers will be Joe Lample or Joe the Gardener. He'll be talking about a garden to weather any storm. De'Ara McKelvey, she's the supervisor at Kemper Center for home gardening at the Missouri Botanical Garden. Let's see, Ray Moran's. Grazing lands, pollinator, ecologist, works with the USDA. He's creating habitat for pollinators. You know, because if you don't have any bees, you ain't gonna get much.
We used to do bees, and I can tell you that
My son Robert's talking about doing bees. Can you imagine?
Oh Lord, I'll talk to him.
Jeff Quick, he is the CEO of the Food Bank of North Central Arkansas. Healthy foods equal better healthy outcomes. And Guy Ames, Ames Orchard and Nursery horticulturist, for the National Center of Appropriate Technology, fruit trees, bushes, and vines for natural growing in the Ozarks. This is an all-day event from 8 to 3:30 on March the 18th on Saturday. The cost is $35, but it includes lunch. There will be snacks and drinks provided throughout the day. Seating is limited, but if you'd like to get involved in this, get a hold of baxtercountymg.com/spring-seminar. Fill out the registration form, and you can mail in your registration form and your fee to Catherine Gilmore at 275 Sharon Drive here in Mountain Home. See if there's any news worth talking about.
Any good news?
Any news? Yeah. Baxter County Quorum Court put forth a resolution banning any openings of a new landfill or a reopening of an old existing landfill. Now, if that's got any teeth in it, we'll find out, but hopefully that'll keep them from opening up the RL&H landfill again.
I know both the city had been working on stuff to try to prevent it, and now the county. So.
Well, I said that wrong. I said it as a resolution, which really doesn't have any teeth, but this is an ordinance that was passed by the Quorum Court that stated, and this was last night, it stated that the ordinance unanimously passed prohibiting the development of any new and reopening of any closed solid waste landfill in Baxter County. The ordinance was tabled in February when they first started talking about it, and so it looks like there's some good teeth into it.
I was watching last night. I was thinking there would be more of a discussion from the public than there was. Everybody was pretty much on board to go with it. That was sitting in there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the public was for it?
Yeah, I mean, there was everybody was clapping when they voted for it.
Oh, voted for the for the new ordinance.
For the new ordinance.
Yeah,
sorry. So nobody got up and really spoke against. Nobody, and I was expecting a little bit of some speakers and stuff to talk, but it just didn't happen. Everybody was for the ordinance passing, and so it's pretty unanimous. They all clapped. So
it just makes you wonder if it was, the group that has control of it now, if this just wasn't a way for them to be able to walk away and wash their hands of it, if they were able to sell it to this other organization, which I'm glad the Quorum Court has done that. That's really looking forward for looking in a forward view of what happens in our area, which is good for us. Let's see, what else have we got here? We've got Ron Hollis, who will serve as the new park ranger for the Sylamore Ranger District out of the office at Mountain View. That's going to be good. Have a new wildlife officer down that area. Mountain Home was named one of the top 50 small towns in the South by the National Magazine. That's pretty good. Kindergarten registration is scheduled for April the 7th. So you want to make sure that you've got all your things in order. Things that you'll need when you register your child for kindergarten is a state official birth certificate or some other official birth record, the student Social Security card, current immunization records or appointment card, a physical within the last 2 years. So that's pretty good. The school of choice applications deadline is May the 1st. Make sure you've got all that in as well. So how about that, Scooter?
All right. Community news and happenings.
Community news and happenings. Sound like our guest just walked in, so we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the Mayor of Mountain Home, Hillrey Adams. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back.
Ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
All you've ever wanted was a place to write your story. You hear it's not the right time to buy or sell a house, but really, the best time is when it's right for you. The real estate markets, they change, they go up, they go down. One thing that doesn't change is where you want to be in your life. The professionals you team up with will make your story happen. The Z Team are the professionals you need to hire for your next chapter. So call the Z Team at 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in 2 states?
Holy smokes!
Want the meatiest fall-off-the-bone ribs?
Holy smokes!
The most tender and delicious pulled pork?
Holy smokes!
The tastiest brisket in the Ozarks?
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering is the only place you need to go. Dine in, carry out, and the best food for your next catered event.
Holy smokes!
We're your mountain home for great barbecue cooking.
Holy smokes!
A higher calling for your taste buds.
What? Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. The mayor of Mountain Home is with me, Hillrey Adams. How are you, sir?
Well, Bob, it would be a lot better if we hadn't got another rain last night. I don't know how much we got, but anything is too much. A drop is too much. So I hadn't seen any kind of report this morning. You may know what we got, but it looks like that we don't need any of that right now. But other than that, man. Absolutely wonderful. Glad to be back up here. It looks like I'm probably doing a little bit better than you are from.
Hopefully, this is about to come to an end. Hopefully,
yeah, right.
I just wanted to be able to do away with the Neo cart.
Yeah.
Once I get away from that, I figure I'll have to be in the boot for.
I've been watching for you at all the intersections on that little cart right there to make sure you don't pull out in front of somebody.
Yeah, so it's kind of exciting. You've been working on the Willette Park quite a bit.
Hell, Bob. In fact, I just left there a few minutes ago on my way up here. That was someplace I made a trip out to. We're getting really close. We're behind.
Well, the weather's been not quite.
Weather, it started off with that 8 inches of snow and then that sleet and nice event, and then the rain hasn't helped us. But 4 of the 5 fields now actually have turf on them. They're not ready to be used yet. We can't let anybody on them. We got some parameter work to do around them. You're residing up to the edges, dugout fencing, and the backstop screens are all up now. The old adult softball field at south end of the complex there, we will probably be real close to having all our concrete work done out there this week. And then that field is prepped and ready for the actual turf crew to lay down. The people that get the fields ready for the turf, that's one crew. Do the base work and get the drainage system in, and then the next crew comes in and lays the actual turf on it. So it's ready for them. We anticipate them starting on that one just any day. And I really think we're going to be real close to being able to open that park up by about the middle of April. And, we may be a week or two behind what we'd like to do, but we're real close right there.
Got some tournaments coming this way.
We
year,
have.
don't you?
There's going to be one this weekend, and since we can't play it at Callista, we'll be playing that up at Keller Park. I can't recall exactly which age groups that are playing this weekend. I think it's I think the range is somewhere from 8 to about 12 in that area there, maybe 10 to 12s that are playing. We're going to do that piece of this tournament, this first tournament up at Keller. There was actually a softball tournament at Keller this past weekend. I understand it was an all-day deal out there Saturday, and then they couldn't have a prettier Saturday in this early in the year for that. But we'll get to one in this weekend, pull it off at Keller. And then by the time the next one is scheduled, this 2D baseball group has 6 tournaments coming down this year. By the time the next one rolls around, we should be ready to go up at Callista and can open that facility up there. There's still a lot of work to do.
And that'll be baseball and softball happening up there?
No, that'll be just, at that tournament will just be baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah. 2D Sports is doing baseball tournaments for us. And
the leagues are doing their own softball tournaments?
Yeah. And we've got a couple individuals that are going to be doing some softball tournaments, some fundraisers. There's always some of them that are benefit type tournaments and things like that. That'll be, those places will be real busy this summer. And I know you and I had a conversation while you were getting your ankle fixed there and worked on about you had met some folks there at the hospital, I believe, that were familiar with our mountain bike event.
Over in Rogers, I met my cardiologist, APN, was running that bunch over there.
We have now got that secured again this year, so that mountain bike group that came, I think they came in October the last couple years, they're actually coming in September this year, and they're expecting up to about 750 bikers this year. Which brings even more people to town, and I think it's going to be around the 23rd, something like that, of September. But they confirmed with me a couple weeks ago they'll be back. So we got to make sure that weekend there's nothing going on, baseball or anything, because those bikers will fill that park up out
absolutely.
there, right there. And so we're excited to see those folks come back to us this year.
They had a little bit of a run-in with somebody there this past season when they came for their deal. And I said, well, if I remember right, I believe the mayor handled that pretty quick. She said, I don't know where he was when they called him, but he was here before it was over with.
Yeah. And that was just some fool that lived near the park out there that, wanted to show out a little bit. And, went over there and created some problems, and that's a bad taste for people getting their mouth about the community. And I'll say this, the Mountain Home PD responded out there very quick, got that person, and to make sure they didn't create any more problems around the park this weekend. They got to spend the weekend, and a couple of weeks after that, down to what we could refer to as the Crossbar Hotel.
There you go.
You don't want people that are here visiting the community to have experiences like that, and so I'm glad to know they recognized that quick response and what we did to get that person away from that
absolutely.
group out there.
She was singing the praises of the PD and everybody involved. And, well, they must have took care of it quick enough. They want to come back for a third year in a row.
That's right.
So.
They're coming 3 in a row, and they very rarely go any place 3 years in a row. They told me when we first started this, you might get 2 in a row, and if you do, that's lucky, but it's almost unheard of to get 3. But they love the trail, they love the community, they love how they're treated here, and so we're just going to keep playing that as long as we can right
you
there.
Bet. Yeah, it brings in a lot of folks.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the community as far as revenue dollars when they bring in a group that size?
Well, I was talking to a gentleman just yesterday that has a facility here in town. I think he's got 8 VRBO Airbnb type units in a complex here in town, and he told me he is booked full for that event. So you take the bookings he has, the hotels, the restaurants they eat at here. They have an event, and last year they did. They may do it somewhere else this year, who knows. But last year on Saturday, they had an event for all the people in that group to get together and have a ceremony of some type. And they did it at Rapps Bear, and you couldn't even get anywhere close to that place. There were so many people down there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're at other places. You know, they may be eating at one of the fast food restaurants in town or the back 40, or they could be any place.
Mm-hmm.
So they're spending dollars in the community, and that's helping grow that sales tax revenue right there. And so, you know, they leave with a good taste in their mouth about the community, and you never know, some of them might want to come back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for a vacation, extended stay, might relocate here at some point in time, you never know. So that's just more exposure. I know this morning there's a story out, I got wind of it, I believe yesterday or the day before, about Mountain Home ranking in the top 50
top
best
50,
50 in the state. Things like that, mountain bike race, baseball tournaments, pickleball events, whatever it is that's going on, you know, the culture celebration line, all of those events and the quality of living we have here, the health care we have, those things help make that stuff like that ranking we got in that Southern Living magazine possible out there.
Mm-hmm. Time for a quick break. Mayor Hillrey Adams, City of Mountain Homes, with us this morning. We'll be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville, close to Lake North.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Mayor Hillrey Adams is with us this morning. Mayor, there's a lot of talk on social media about the sales tax that we got approved a couple years ago for the community center and all the improvements. I think a lot of people forgot the part that that sales tax is not only for the community center, it's for the improvement of the parks, and that's where a lot of the money is being spent today. A lot of people think that money is just being rat-holed and used somewhere else.
Well, those people are dead wrong, I can promise you. They're clueless. Anybody that thinks that right there, and, I just call it the way I see it. They're real clueless right there, those folks that think that. Yes, that was a park rehabilitation project. A lot of work is going on. The improvements at Hickory, Keller, Calista, but there's so much work already been done on the community center, Bob. And I know from your work that you do outside of here with Jim Brown, when you put together a facility like that, there's mechanical systems in it, there's electrical, there's structural steel components of that, there's flooring, there's just so many things that go into a project like that. And we are very, very close to the design. I can assure you is well over 90% done. They're entering a phase of it now that's called preparing construction documents. We're that far along. And as soon as, we've already started the road into the community center. And working on that, we pulled that crew off to help finish up the work at Calista so we could get ready for baseball season. And we really, really feel like that crew should be back working on that road next week. And when they get there, when they get to the top of the hill with that road bed that's going in, they're going to be ready at that point to start moving some serious dirt up there. And laying out the parking lot areas and the site for the building and all that. And right now it looks like we could be going to bid on that facility as early as sometime in July, putting those contracts out and getting our final numbers in on that project right there. If we can do that, then I think you'll see full bore construction going, July, August range on the actual building itself.
What kind of push from the city side is there to use local contractors?
Well, we used what was called a construction manager on this. When we started this whole project, our architect engineer team put out what's called an RFQ, request for qualifications. We had, I think, 3 or 4 contractors put in applications to be what's called the construction manager. And by using a construction manager approach, what you do, if you do a design bid build, then you're going to get stuck with whoever has that lowest number when you bid a job like that. We see that happen a lot. People opt to use that method. But one of the things that's gained a lot of popularity in the last few years is a construction manager. So we put that out. We hired a construction manager day one. As soon as we got this thing ready to roll. And that is a local contractor, Gregory Company. Was chosen over 3 to 4 others to do that. So what Gregory Company will now do is they go through this project. When they get ready to put out the bids for the heat and air package, when they get ready to put out the bid for the flooring or whatever the different trade packages are, then they have the ability, because they work with so many of the local contractors, and they can negotiate with local folks a little bit better than they could a contractor from Jackson, Mississippi or Dallas, Texas, And so that helps a lot. And if you'll look around right now, Bob, on the work we've done here at Hickory and at the Keller and Calista complexes, the only work in those complexes that's not been done by a local contractor is work that a local contractor doesn't have the ability to do. The turf on the fields. Nobody here is in the turf business. And, we went through several different companies on that and got our bids for that. And the company that's putting our turf down was chosen. The netting, the poles, in the past, and I know you and I have spent a lot of time out there on those ball fields over the years. you had to look through that old heavy-duty chain link fence to see the game, and there was always a bar right there in my eye, always. And all that's gone. Well, a company out of Texas that does netting systems, now you can sit there, and when you pull up, you don't even hardly see it there in front of you, it looks so good. And nobody here does that type of work. So everything that's been done so far, with the exception of those 2 items, has been done by a contractor here in town, electrical contractor, heat and air contractor, plumbing contractor, etc. So
and
that's
a lot of the other work that you've got done is being done by the street department.
Yes.
And they've done a lot of the
We've
manual.
done some work on the water and sewer side running. We needed some more water pressure at Callista Willette. So the water department ran us a bigger line up there so we would have more water pressure at that park, that we need both for fire protection out there, and people think there's nothing that'll burn, but there is. There's a concession stand, and there's always a risk of fire somewhere. So
ain't nothing worse than a burnt turf.
No, and so we got some changes there, but and one of the reasons we've utilized the street like we have is they can do it for us cheaper than another contractor might, and we control our own destiny on when it's going to get done. One of the things that I've been so frustrated with this whole project is a couple of the contractors, you get a rain day, you get 10 drops in the morning at 7 o'clock. Oh, we got shut down. We had rain out today. We don't do that. And we're going to be out there working somewhere basically every day, our people are. So, and that's helped us, with the expense of what we've done so far by doing that right there. And, we pay the street department for their work just like we would another contractor.
But it's a much lesser rate because there's
a whole lot lesser than what a sub that would come in from. I had a guy the other day call me and he said, I understand y'all doing a lot of this work in Mountain Home, and I'm an excavation contractor. He lived in Central Arkansas, and he wanted to come up and do some work and wanted to know what he had to do to get on the bid list. And so that's not a problem. I give you the construction manager's name, you can get on that bid list. He said, who are the contractor doing most of your site work now? And that's my city street department. He said, I can't compete. He said, not any need for me to even try. He said, because he's got to mobilize crews up here. He's got to put the people up while they're here working. There's lodging expense and per diem and all that stuff. So we will do everything we can. I want to see is when we get into the big project here, I want to see as many local trades as I can come from right here in this community, because those are the people that have kids that are playing and utilizing that facility on the swim team, the baseballs. Those are the people that sponsor local teams, and have their name on a t-shirt out there, a ball cap or whatever. Those are the people that will, when you go to them and you need help in this community, you get it. You don't go to somebody in Dallas, Texas, or Shreveport, Louisiana, and get them to help a local ball team.
Absolutely not.
So we want to try to keep all that here if we can.
What's happening at Hickory Park? Getting ready for
the summer concert series is going to be starting May 27th. There's already been 3 to 4 meetings on that. That'll be kicking up. Ricky's got some stuff in the works already. I think after May 27th, if you're not familiar with it, back in 2017, we worked with Northwest Arkansas Economic Development District and held what's called an IRT mission here. That's where the United States Army and other military branches bring in some medical staff, nurses, doctors, etc., and they do that medical mission here. That's coming back. I want to say it's in July. So I think the second weekend of the series will be while those folks are here, and we'll have a special military night. There's going to be hundreds of those military people in town for this mission right here that provides those free services for people that need eye care, dental care, and etc. So with that, I think that second one will be somewhere around that weekend. and then we'll probably close it out in late August sometime.
Always good turnout for those.
Yeah, Ricky does a good job, brings us some good stuff up there. The community supports it real well, and that'll be kicking off. I believe it's May 27th. That's Saturday of Memorial Day.
Be a good time. 45 after the hour, we'll take a quick break. Mayor Hillrey Adams is with us this morning. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do I need a special guest?
Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going? See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Scooter's always got to interrupt. You know it?
Do what now?
We were in the middle of a conversation.
I know we were just having a real good time here, and I guess
I got one job to do, and that's count down. So
yeah,
I'm good at it.
You're good, but I'd hate for you to have to count further than 3, 2, 1.
I can go to 5. He gets confused
5
sometimes, but I will let him get to 5.
Yeah, I go to 5 sometimes.
But I'd much rather him do that, Mayor, than him say, "Oh, we're back."
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, we've done that during a football game.
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it doesn't turn out so well, too.
That's right. That's
Somebody's still talking.
Speaking of football,
yeah,
my new parks director, or really not new anymore, he'd been here a year come June, told me the other day that they're working with Coach Airy and his staff. Some youth football changer going on.
Youth football.
And then they're going to be utilizing a little bit of help out of the city parks department and stuff for youth football.
Yeah,
Flag football, is that what they're going to be doing?
No, they're going to take over tackle league.
Okay, yeah.
I think they'd like to do flag. Haven't got the details worked out. March the 13th, there's a meeting over at the high school. I'm going to try to attend that if I can get around good enough to get over there.
Well, yeah, you can probably find somebody to come pick you up and drive you over there.
You volunteer?
I think all of our work in it's just going to be maybe like in the registration piece and the administration of it. I don't think we're going to be doing much other than that.
You know, I've for years and years and years have fought and tried to get involvement from the school side to help with the youth football all the way back to 1995. And years would go, and we'd get a little bit here and a little bit there. But when their kids quit playing, well, then they help quit. But I think they're trying to put a mechanism in place to where it will continue on and have some school involvement, which would be good for the program.
Yeah.
Which is what's been needed for a long time.
Yeah.
What's the future look like for the city? You gave the State of the City report.
You know, you got to be real cautious in what you think will happen. But I really think we're in a spot where it doesn't matter what we do here right now, we're going to still see some growth coming in here. You know, where we live at this part of the country, the fact that we're so tied to outdoor recreation here, which is growing, whether it be water sports, hiking, trails, the mountain bike we talked about earlier, those type things. We're in an area of the country, I think, where people are going to want to keep coming here. But I hope we can do it and control that, do it in an organized manner. I definitely don't want to be like some places we're familiar with in northwest or northeast Arkansas, where it's happening faster than they can provide, you know, what they need to service-wise. But my guess is, Bob, that we're just going to continue to see good things happen here. We had a gentleman in town yesterday, met with our planning department about a new restaurant he's bringing to town. There were some issues related to the site he has identified and picked out, that he needs a retention pond done a little bit different that's there, which he can do that, you know. It's just it was there, so he's trying to work through that. And he also needed different access to a street. He was willing to put up the money to pay for that work to get access to this location a little bit easier for his people. And I can tell you, I think it's going to be a very popular addition to town. You know, right now you've got sitting right up here on top of the hill work already underway for this new 7 Brew coffee. It's coming in, and the gentleman that's bringing that 7 Brew to town, you know, when I asked him why he chose Mountain Home, he said, well, you know, we'd been over and visited a time or two, but when we started looking at all the metrics and analytical data on the Walmart here and other restaurants, and he sees the growth, and he sees the growth in our revenue here, it was like a no-brainer for him. In fact, the gentleman with 7 Brew is going to be in town today, and I understand while here he's meeting with ASU Mountain Home because he wants to get some of his help and the people that will be working in that facility from the school. He wants students, you know, he wants some young folks in there working, so he's got a meeting while he's here today with the school, I understand, to try to get some sort of job fair advertisement or whatever he needs to get done to start trying to get the resources. And it looks like that 7 Brew up here is going to be open within about 60 days.
Wow.
Right there. They put that thing in there pretty quick once they start, and they're well underway right now. And you know, you're going to see some more of that stuff happening around here. We're on the radar for people now. Last week I attended in El Dorado, Arkansas. The Arkansas is a governor's conference on tourism held every year. And a few years ago, Bob Knight told me one day, he said, Mayor, you need to go to that. I said, you need to go down there and meet the people in this tourism industry that we rely on so much here. And I did. And this was my second year to go to it. Russell Tucker was down there, and Danny Pugsley from the chamber, but Russell had actually been invited to speak and put on one of the sessions one day about his little small brewery operation, how it started, how it got to where it is now, and what the impact of that's been. You know, you drive by downtown any night, and a lot of things going down there now, a lot of moving stuff. The lights are on at night down there now. There's 2 or 3 new businesses fixing to open down there and some stuff taking place. And last week, while down there after Russell had made his presentation, you know, I was visiting with him a little bit, and he told me that evening, he said, last year we heard the word Mountain Hoo all the time. And I've had people actually call the office or call me and want to know, when was our Bean Festival or Outhouse Race? That's Mountain View. He said, but now when people walk up, they say Mountain Home. There's none of this Mountain Hoo anymore, it's Mountain Home. And so I think we've been identified a little bit better in that industry, and we're just going to keep seeing good things coming about out of that.
Where did the idea of this single-family home incentive program, where did that come from?
You know, a couple years ago, or three, Bob, it might have been three now when we started talking about it, because we did it for two. In a conversation one day with people about how you could do things to spur development. Well, you know, I know some cities around the state have different incentive programs. They're in areas where to get an industry into town, they add on to a railroad spur. They provide a new sewer line. You know, in Jonesboro, I'm very familiar. They've done things about, you know, the city purchasing land for an industrial park and then providing service. Well, we don't have a lot of opportunity up here for that type of industry. There's several things. One, we don't have rail transportation, you know, that comes into Mountain Home, so you can't ship product in now. Getting product in and out of here because of where we're located, that's a little bit difficult for people getting raw products in and finished goods out. So we were trying to find out how we could do something. And one of the day, a group of people sitting around talking, well, if we had people, we identified in the city of Mountain Home, we could easily identify about 150 vacant lots and subdivisions that had never been built on. Anywhere from Carlisle Highlands to Big Creek to Northern Hills to Indian Creek, and all in between. So we were sitting talking one day about all the lots, that if those lots were built on, you know, we didn't have to provide more street, we didn't have to provide more water and sewer, it's already going right by them, that would help put people to work. It'd sell building products at some of the local building supply companies. It'd put heat and air contractors work, plumbing contractors, roofers, framers, drywall, etc., and create some. So we sat down, and the first attempt at it was nothing to do but just waiving the water and sewer connect fee and the building permit fee. Then we got the idea that let's make the developer, whoever the builder is, pay that money up front just like they would, and then based on the estimated construction value of the house, give them a rebate back of a very small percentage, 2% is what we set, and we did that last year, and we may very well do something like that again. What's several builders have told us right now, though, due to the extreme spike in building material and interest rate, that they're slowing down. They're not going to do much right now. So, but that helped. There were several houses built, and there were houses built in places that Carlisle Highlands, Southern Meadows, Indian Creek, Big Creek, that hadn't had new homes built in them in several years. You know, so I think we saw some positive results of that. But that was just a one way we thought we could spur, you know, things in town by doing that right there.
How's the reaction to the proposed annexation of the property out 62 West?
You know, Dollar General, we've been that conversation has been being had for a long time, and they never were really agreeable to do it. What really helped do that is when we got the Game and Fish bought the property around the Dollar General. They're building their new headquarters there. They wanted a lot of it's woods now, and if you'll turn down Hilltop Lane, you can see where the Game and Fish is. Cleared a piece of property. All the stuff that was downtown, all the boats and equipment is now stored out there. And they'll be putting up a new headquarters out there in a few years. So when they came on board, that really kicked up what we need to do. And then ASU got the big grant for the technical center, and they're going to expand that boat building program to try to train people in that industry for the boat manufacturers around here. You know, they needed some sewer because they're on septic out there. And so we put together this plan. We got the American Rescue Plan money last year. We've got the money to pay for this project. And right now, it's in the final design stages with Garver. We went back to Dollar General and said, hey, look, here's what we can do. We need to get across you with a sewer. We need you to annex so we can get into the Game and Fish, and we'll do this. And they did, and I believe it's either April 1 or May 1 that becomes effective. They want it on the first day of the month, and so then we'll just keep on going to the technical center.
That'll be awesome. Things are happening in Mountain Home. We appreciate you watching this morning. Mayor, thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV.